Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ryan Poe. First things first, bear down, bear down. It was a fantastic game on Saturday night. It wasn't for the first half, though. I thought I was going to need to pick up and have a beverage of some sorts, if you catch my drift. Anyway, today I am going to be walking reviewing 2 Flobots, Survival with Tools.
Fight with Tools.
This album came out in 2007 and re-released again in 2008 because it was such a success that they got signed to a record label. It was originally an independent album release. So, right there, that's pretty cool. My story with Flobots is I've only heard 2 songs from them. One of them is called White Flag Warrior, and it features the lead singer of Rise Against. I think his name's Tim McGrath or Tim McGraw, something like that. Wait, McGraw sounds like a country singer.
That's because that is the country singer, you dingus. The name is Tim McIlrath.
I don't know, you know what I mean. But before I heard that song, I heard a different one. And you know how during the Bravery review, I was talking about how Believe was one of my favorite songs that wasn't Linkin Park during that time? Well, my other song that was fighting for maybe being my favorite during the time was the other song I've heard from Flobots, called Handlebars. That's on this album here. I will just tell you, this album is going to be different than all the other ones that I've reviewed before. This is a lot more of a hip-hop oriented album than all the rest of them. I did start hearing this band also on Fuse, just like with the Bravery. So, another band that's during my mid-2000s that kind of helped shape the type of music I'd want to listen to for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll have plenty more to say later. And I will warn you, just because of how the context of the band is, I know this is going to get a little political. So, please take that in mind, that this one has to be a bit on the political side, okay? It's just how the band was, and how they still are, honestly. And now that I think about it, I do remember them having one other song that I've heard, and it was more of an answer to somebody sampling their music. I'll get into that in post, though, okay? So, yeah, let's get to listening. By the way, if you can't tell, I am walking a little bit later in the day than I normally would. So that's why you're kind of hearing a bit of traffic. If the audio levels are kind of messed up, I might just redo some of this in post. But I'm going to post the initial versions of this while we're going. Just so you guys know, I'm not really just editing over all this. You know, I am right next to the road right here. So, you can only do so much, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the album. Figured I'd show off some stuff that the Burlington Public Library put down on this path. Just a few little games and stuff. They're kids that walk this. Watch out for ghosts. And they want you to walk the path. I'm not doing that right now. I'll be completely honest. But yeah, just a few fun little things they did for kids. Run. I'm not doing this one. I'm not spinning around 3 times. Hopping from leaf to leaf. Step on black, you go on back. Step on yellow, you're okay, fellow. A side jump thing where they want you to jump from each side. Do something where you're mirroring your friends. A little bit of a cha-cha slide. Spell out your name with the letters on this. Follow the B path. And they got a good bit of stuff, honestly, right here. Follow the brick road. Something I know one of my nephews would love, the dinosaur stomp. Just stomp around like a dinosaur, then roar! Then go up the slide and down, back down it. A little bit of a joke thing. Tiptoe. Show you what time it is. Give the sky a high five. Another one just simple about reading. Jump from bubble to bubble. And then Minecraft. You gotta avoid the creeper. Balancing one where you're acting like you're in that Mario Party minigame where you're trying to croc across the plank while people are shooting bombs at you. Follow the rainbow. I did want to show this off though before too much of it wore off, because as you can kind of see, I can't see what this used to be. You can see that they had colored someone here. And then over here you can see it starts going the other way a little bit. Walk on a bridge. Follow the ladybug. And then and then just a little simple, like, go across the lines and stuff, walk the path. So yeah, just one little thing they did for the kids here. This was a fantastic album. Like, no joke. I only didn't add We Are Winning and the intro song to the album to my playlist. Every other song on it was absolutely perfect. It's a pretty perfect album, honestly. Now, I know some people aren't probably going to enjoy it because of, you know, some of the political context of the album, but I honestly implore everybody to give it a listen. Like, oh my god. It's amazing. Obviously, Handlebars was a fantastic song that I've heard in the past. I had heard one other one that I didn't remember until I was listening to the album. I had heard Stand Up before, but like every song, even without the whole talking about the political identity of the album and the lyrics, the instrumentation behind it, beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The band has a cellist, a violist, and a trumpet player along with them. And growing up, full disclosure, I am a trumpet player. I am a viola player. Hearing the instruments that I played be used in such a beautiful way, it's amazing. Like, I can't believe it. I'm gonna listen to the album on my walk back, but I don't think I have a lot more to add because it was just that good. I implore you to listen to it. Seriously. I am going to add their next album onto my playlist for the next wheel. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was just that good that I want to see how the rest of it goes. I know that this is their most popular album. I want to say when you look at their discography on Spotify, the first top 6 songs are all on this album. So I know that there's a bit of a fall off for them in the album listens category, but I want to hear more. I really want to hear more. I'll talk to you guys when I get home.
As you guys kind of heard, I couldn't let those misspoken and mispronunciated moments stay without correcting them as the editing was going. Just full disclosure, I suck at enunciation. Will I butcher some phrases here and there? Probably. But I will try to do my best to be able to, if it's like really bad, like saying a country singer instead of a rock artist, I'm going to correct it at the moment, especially if I actually catch on. If I don't catch on, then yeah, t- add a comment and tell me how I mispronunciated that stuff. Anyway, I was talking, I don't really have a lot more to add to the album itself. It's a pretty perfect album. I wanna say it's honestly a top 25 album for me. Like, I thought it was that good. And normally when I talk about like, "Oh, well, this top 25," I only look at, like, 1 album per artist. Like, you can see right behind me, I have all these I'm a huge, huge, huge Linkin Park fan. If I had it my way, if I made it so, like, there were multiple albums from each artist, 6 of the 7 albums right there would probably be in my top 25. Like, I love them that much. So, to kinda just make sure that I have a little bit more variety, I try to limit myself to only 1 album by 1 artist on my top 25 list. Maybe if I have to end up staying in and doing exercising within my own house instead of going out to walk, maybe then I'll do one of those things where I will kind of do a little bit of outside of the range of new album stuff and go over my top 25. Maybe just do that every few months to let people know, okay, hey, this is what I think of these guys. This is what I think of these guys. I've soured on this album a little bit. This is an album that I've listened to on these walks that I think should be up here. You know what I mean? Uh, so what I kind of alluded to during the walk was in 2017, a guy named Logan Paul, who plenty of people have probably heard of, used the song Handlebars as a sample. And he kinda was using it in a little bit more of a derogatory way. He kind of viewed women as kind of almost objects in the song that he was using it for, and it ticked off the band Flobots to the point that that they made a diss track just focused on Logan Paul, and then they sued Logan Paul. Uh, and he and I don't know how that lawsuit ended up ending up. I do know that they ended up settling outside of court for it, and Logan Paul did end up deleting the video. I know that Flobots had asked Logan Paul to be able to give them all royalties for the song since he did sample their music without any permissions or anything like that. I'm not going to go out of my way to listen to it because I do not care. I did listen to the Flobots, diss track back, and it's alright. On the list of diss tracks, it's probably nowhere near the top, but it uses the background of Handlebars a bit, like, and it sounds fine. That's just all I've got, it's fine. Um, Never been a big, guy on diss track. The only one that I've really enjoyed was the one everybody enjoyed this last year, um, Kendrick Lamar, anybody? Yeah. They are not like us. God, that was white. But yeah, I'm really, really genuinely happy I listened to this album. Uh, I do not regret it in the slightest, and I, like I said, I'm plan on following their discography all the way up from here out. Like, just I'll make sure that I'm putting it on the wheel and all that, but like I said, I'd only heard a 3rd song from them. I had heard "Stand Up" before, which I forgot, but when I started playing it, I'm like, "Oh, I do know this song." So, but just between that, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, not gonna be for everybody. Um, I'm sure some of you guys could uh, remember how politics were around the Iraq War, which this does have a lot of connotations to that on the album. So, yeah. Um, that's really all I got for you. I'm looking at the Wikipedia article talking about it, and it's like, Handlebars got up to number 3 on the modern rock tracks. Uh, it cl it's the fastest any single since Closing Time jumped up that fast to the top 10. And then it starts talking about MySpace, and I can see the gray in my beard growing even further as I'm thinking about MySpace again. So, Imma let you guys go. Uh, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, blah, blah, blah. The normal YouTube stuff that you're supposed to do to try to get people to listen to and keep coming back. If you do, I appreciate it, really do. Um, but yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. See you guys next time.